Hello fam, how are you all doing? I hope you all are doing good. Let's talk about Deante's video. His video went viral, mini viral, a couple of days back, and that video got some group of men reacting. They had a lot to say. But before we get right into that video, I would love us to start off with these set of videos.
Listen, I'm not interested in talking to you.
Because of what?
Because I don't want to. I don't have to
Because
give you
who
a
are you?
reason. Because I don't want to.
Are you God?
Yes, I am. Because
Which are you Black God or Black Jesus?
listen, I'm not interested in
Please,
talking to
you
you.
can f off.
You came to me. I didn't come to
Yeah,
you.
and you should answer me normally.
And I
That's
said,
respect.
No. I said politely, I'm not interested
In what?
in talking
About what?
to you because I'm
Because
not
of
interested.
what?
Because I don't want to. I don't
Then
have
fuck
to.
off. You can go back to your village.
Okay.
If you stay there alone, if you don't want to talk, you see?
Okay.
Don't behave like a motherfucking villager
Okay.
with your bumbo clad shoes.
Okay.
Are you flying? Are you a parachute or what?
Man.
Damn, nigga. Don't try to talk smarty. You try to say I'm not interested. You're not interested. Are you God? Oh, nigga, bitch. You kidding me? You ugly, man. You're not
Thank
beautiful.
you. Thank you.
You think because of an iPhone 13 you are so cute?
Yeah.
Are you Miss USA? Are you Doechi? That's anxiety, man. You got anxiety problems. You feel me? Try to listen to some good music. Feel me? Hey, listen to some good music.
I'm not interested.
In what?
Please go.
Please.
No, I'm not joking.
Hey, calm
Please
down.
go. Okay?
Calm down and listen to some good music. You understand?
Okay, thank you. Bye.
Good. Okay. Here we go again. I'll talk with that. Trying to behave like she important. You're not important, nothing. I'm trying to talk a bit and you try I'm not interested. You're interested in what? Get the out of here, man. I don't mother. Nonsense is happening in this Germany, bro. USA bitches nothing like this.
She simply said she wasn't interested in having a conversation with him. She wasn't interested in whatever he was proposing. She didn't want to know him. She was not interested. And he got pissed. This is very common out there. A lot of men don't know how to handle rejection. They don't know how to take no for an answer from women. They have this entitlement mentality. Just see the way he switched and started calling her ugly and saying all those nasty things to her. Someone you don't know. Some comments are actually funny though, because he was funny, so I get it. I'm going to read some of the funny comments and also the serious ones. Let's get started. He's definitely Nigerian. Very possible because of the accent. But some people in the comment section are claiming that he's from Cameroon. I don't know. Bumbo class shoes. Are you flying? Are you a parachute? That really got me laughing because I don't know how that got into the conversation. He sounds Congolese. You're so composed, woman. You really were flying in heavenly places. Bless you. This one sounds more like Christian sister or brother. Why is he angry? You already told him to leave. Why is he still there? When we give out numbers nicely, they say we let them on and encouraging their predatory behavior. When we say no straightforward and directly, then we become doiche. Yeah, he did make mention of that. With bumbo class shoes, with anxiety problems. His ego can't handle the rejection, and this is why men are so scary. I was scared for her the entire time. My heart rate escalated. He did everything but leave her alone. Have you tried saying no? This is why the bear.
The man versus bear argument has now been upgraded to man versus lion. A 12-year-old Ethiopian girl was abducted by a group of men, and when she was being abused, she started whimpering. Nearby, a group of lions heard her cries and went and saved her. They got the men away from her and waited with her and protected her until the police came. And when the police came, they let the police take the little girl.
Y'all are not understanding, because when the 3 abductors took this little 12-year-old girl for a week and they were physically abusing her, all right, she started whimpering. And after she started whimpering, she was saved by 3 lions who ran off the abductors and sat with her the whole time until the police arrived. Because the same whimpering that she was making because she was hurting from being beaten sounded just like the baby lions. Why are y'all not understanding?
Going through the comment section, I had a lot of people wondering and asking how true the story is. The story is actually a true story. It's a real story. It happened. This happened in Ethiopia in 2005. A 12-year-old girl was abducted by a group of men, 7 men to be precise. They were trying to force her to get married to one of them. She was kidnapped for over a week before the lion incident happened. Yes, 3 lions actually saved her, and they waited till the police came. When the police got her, the lions left and they went into the forest. I also saw some people in the comment section talking about how it was a miracle. God sent people to save her. I believe in God. I believe that there is more to this world that we can see. This world has different levels. We've got the spiritual realm and other realms. But anyways, that's not the focus of this video. Whatever it is, men have been failing women for the longest time. They didn't just start. So if you hear a group of women or some women say that they would rather be with the bear than a man, I don't think anyone should pick offense. I don't think anyone should be upset hearing that from them. The crux of the matter is this: women don't feel safe with men.
You may not harass women. You may know how to take rejection. The majority of men that most women deal with do not.
Yeah.
And you are accountable for that as well. Because I don't got time to figure out which white people are nice, which white people aren't racist, or da-da-da-da-da. I have to go on the actions of the group.
Right.
The group as a whole and the history of that group as a whole tells me that they are a danger to me and they are not to be trusted.
Right.
And if you can understand that as a black man and your stance towards white people, then you should absolutely be able to understand women's stance towards you. It's not a war on you waged by women. Actually, the war get a little thicker when we start talking about it from the perspective of a woman and the greater society of racism being waged against black people, and then the patriarchal society being waged against women. So they have to deal with 2 elements. One of those elements we don't have to think about, and honestly, we're perpetuated. And it's perpetuated against us young to look at women as objects,
Right.
You know, to look at women only through the lens of a sexual desire and not as the human being that they are. And when you understand how to deal with women on a human level, you understand how much women will enrich your life.
Amen. Amen.
You want to turn it up a notch?
Yeah.
Get you a good woman and get your good black woman in your corner.
Amen.
Hey man, you want to see your life turn up?
Hey.
And see, this is the thing though. It's a privilege, bro. It's a privilege. You know what I'm saying? We often disregard the power of our black women. The spiritual essence that they're gonna bring to things. The knowing, the seeing, you know what I'm saying? Also too, imagine it. They have to be hyper vigilant because they have to be constantly scanning the room, making sure that they're in a safe situation.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? When we think about these kids who were clearly in Louisiana having the time of their fucking life because they graduated, and we think about white people's reaction to black joy.
Oh yeah, that's
It's not about civility. It's not about decorum. They don't like to see us happy.
that's what it is.
Now, how often are women just having a good time and here come a nigga trying to ruin their fun?
Yeah.
Let's just be honest. You can call it pandering, but if I was up here caping for white women, you wouldn't even mention that word. If I was up here caping for Hispanic women, you wouldn't even call it pandering. Only when we take pride and show love to black women do you call it pandering. Get your motherfucking mind right. Use your cabeza.
So that was a video Deante made. The video I was talking about at the beginning. A lot of men reacted. Some were not happy, some were upset. It's what he said. Let's start off with these reactions.
Deante's video made me uncomfortable, but for the right reasons, and I'm gonna explain why. It made me sit down and ask myself, at one point did I make a woman or women feel uncomfortable? And when I thought back to 2016, when I was drunk trying to talk to this girl in my brother's apartment, he had like a little get together, right? And one of his neighbors came down, who's a woman, and I thought there was some type of spark till I realized there wasn't. But I didn't realize it in that moment. How I realized it was one of his homeboys came to me and said, "Yo, stop. Like she's not wanting to talk to you. She's uncomfortable." Me being silly, what do you mean? Why do you think she keeps moving? We were at a countertop, And she just kept, relocating until she went by a guy. When a woman goes by another guy, whether they know them or not, that's when you should know, nigga, you making them uncomfortable as fuck. And I didn't realize I was until he pulled me to the side and told me. That's what I reflected on when I watched that video. How many of you niggas can say you do that even before he dropped that video? How many of us can say that after the video we sat down and did some self-inventory? Like I said, it made me uncomfortable because I had to look within myself. When he sat there and said women look at us men the same way we look at police and white folk as black people, I had to sit there and be like, well, god damn. Because I'm the nigga that be like, damn, they should go blaming niggas for somebody else. And there's niggas out here that be like that. Like, damn, yeah, they fucking up for the rest of us. No. Because your good nature to 150 other bad motherfuckers is not going to change her mindset, her approach, and her feelings on men. Because on Monday, she might meet you and you good natured, but by Friday, 20 niggas have fucked it up for her. Therefore, she don't give a fuck about the other 75 good niggas. Because why would she trust the fact that them 75 good niggas would do her the opposite with them horrible ass 20 niggas did? And that's the shit I had to think about. You know what I'm saying? And I should still continue to think about, because I also got daughters. And me being a father of girls, I would want somebody's son who's well equipped and raised to want to protect them. So just think about that when you watch this video before getting upset because he's telling you to be accountable, because he's telling you to look within yourself and see what it is that you do or don't do to make a woman feel safe or unsafe.
So Deante from Grits and Eggs podcast said this, and it has a certain subgroup of men up in arms.
You may not harass women. You may know how to take rejection. The majority of men that most women deal with do not.
Yeah.
And you are accountable for that as well. Because I don't got time to figure out which white people are nice, which white people aren't racist, or da-da-da-da-da. I have to go on the actions of the group.
Right.
The group as a whole and the history of that group as a whole tells me that they are a danger to me and they are not to be trusted.
Let me just start by saying I love his content and his platform. He makes points every single time. Now, the reason that some men are up in arms and upset about this take is because they feel like they shouldn't be held accountable if they've never made a woman feel uncomfortable. But here's what I'm going to say. As a man, regardless of your sexuality, orientation, any of that, as a man, at some point, you more than likely have made a woman feel uncomfortable, whether that is subconsciously or consciously. And what's important about what he's saying is that we as men need to take a look at how we approach and interact with women, because women have historically been unsafe around men. That is not a question, that's a fact. And the other important piece about accountability is that men need to hold other men accountable for their behavior, for their actions. So while you think that you may not be someone who has ever caused a woman to feel uncomfortable or unsafe, y'all also be around men who do it all the time, and y'all laughing with y'all partners and hanging out with them knowing that they're doing things that make women uncomfortable. But if we as men don't hold other men accountable and try to change behaviors, then we're just as bad as the problem. Period. And the men who are speaking out against him are trying to position themselves to be the good guy, the good man. And we all know that that's simply them hiding in plain sight. And let's not forget that the same men who are arguing against his point sit online and make women uncomfortable for fun, literally argue with women, and that is all their content. So yes, we as men are accountable for men's actions across the board. If you want to make it better, let's hold each other accountable.
Why is it that anytime a black man come on the internet and says, hey, we need to protect and look out for and defend black women, and also in that same sense hold ourselves to account as black men for the role in which black women are describing that they don't feel safe or they don't feel comfortable, y'all immediately saying that he pandering? What? Deante came on here, shout out to the bro, by the way. Deante came on here and talked about how, hey, there's an objective truth about how black women are saying that they don't feel safe, they don't feel comfortable, you know what I mean? They don't feel like they're protected, and we need to hold ourselves to account in that conversation as black men. You know what I mean? And y'all talk about he pandering. Because let's just look at the historical truth. Damn near all of the damage that has been done to women has been at the hands of men. That is an objective truth historically. So if we look at that through the lens of black women, who historically spend most of their time in black spaces, in black families, around black people, at black schools, we are not exempt from that accountability as black men. And it comes off as though y'all not listening to the stories of y'all sisters, of y'all cousins, of y'all aunties, or any other women in y'all family. And I feel concerned for the daughters that y'all might be raising. Because if black women are coming on here and telling y'all how they don't feel safe, they don't feel comfortable, you hear me? And y'all, the only conclusion that y'all are drawing when a black man repeats that same thing is that he's pandering. It means that either you are maladapted to critical thinking or you just don't give a damn. Either way, you need to tighten the fuck up. And before y'all try and come in my comments talk about, oh, you pandering, pander this, pander that, only pander I know is Panda Express. Out of here.
Some men don't agree with what he said. They don't see reasons with him. Let's have a look at this particular one.
This whole Deante Kyle, men are accountable for the men who are terrible bullshit, is really like opened up a train of thinking for me. And I really got to get this out. It seems as if women want to perfect the social environment instead of existing within it. And what I mean by that is, like, imagine a hunter goes into the woods and instead of accepting the fact that there's bears and mosquitoes and old trees that might fall and dangers, instead of him accepting that, he starts complaining. Why are there bears out here? Oh my God, why are the mosquitoes biting? Instead of choosing to stay indoors and go live in the city and buy your meat out of a market. Follow me. I'm a bad person if I say, if you don't like those environments and the negative things that come with those environments, stay out of those environments. I have never been to a club in my entire life. I have never been to a strip club, a hookah lounge, a bar in my entire life. I have lived a very intentional life. I went from my mother's daycare to elementary school, to middle school, to high school, to college, and to work. Within there, I was a little gym ratty. I played sports. I did this and that. That's how I got my social interaction on. And that's how most people do get their social interaction on. We have these very large conversations about a very small amount of people. And again, I just do want to reiterate, if you don't like the negative experiences that come along with like the environments you like to be in, don't try to change said environment. It's too big. There's too many variables. There's too many people to depend on lining up with your personal moral code. Instead, remove yourself from said environments. Why am I having a conversation about what happens at the club? Why are we regular people with 9-to-5 jobs having full-blown discourse and conversations about what happens when a woman rejects a man in the club and he like, you ugly anyway? Why are we talking about that? Most of us don't even participate in that. Most of us, I would like to say that if you're a married man, woman, why the fuck are you in the strip club, the club, a bar? What are you do? Go to a nice dinner. Sit at the house. Be grown. I don't know, bro. Maybe I'm tweaking.
So he's saying that the people responsible for such bad behavior are very little compared to the other people in the population. So because they are little or minute, why then should every other person pay attention to what you're doing? So the best way to resolve such matter is for that woman that is experiencing that to take herself out of that environment. He thinks the people behaving that way are just a minute part of the population, but that is not true. Majority of the population are the ones doing that, and that's why women are speaking up and we are saying a change should be made. Men should treat women better. So many men out there think, oh, the bad eggs are very little. No, the bad eggs are more than the good men. They are more than 50%, 60% of the population of men. I get his reasoning. Like I already said, he thinks it's just a little population. Why should we stress other people because of what you're experiencing? Just move away from that. The amount of bad men we have is way more than the good men. And that is where the problem is. If you go on social media, women are complaining. You meet people one-on-one, people are complaining. Women are complaining. That tells you that men are bad. A lot of men out there are bad. So it is very important for men globally to treat women better, because a lot of men don't do that. Let's also talk about men not realizing that what you're doing to women is not good. Is it that they lack empathy? Do you need someone to tell you that the way you're moving on to that woman is making her uncomfortable? Do you not have blood running through your veins? Do you not have emotions? So you need someone to come tell you that what you're doing to your fellow human being is inappropriate. Are you okay?
I feel like a lot of people, but especially a lot of men, misunderstand the concept of empathy. And I'm not claiming to be an expert on it by any means, but this conversation that Deante Kyle is having on his podcast and the reactions I'm hearing to that conversation have this front of mind for me, because I think a lot of the times people perceive empathy to be this thing where it's like someone gets a paper cut and you instantly wince and grab your own hand. And my entire life, I've heard and been indoctrinated into the belief that there's empathy and that there is logic. You can either be empathetic or you can be logical. And that men are more typically logical and women are more typically empathetic. Like, these are the narratives that are pushed in general in our culture. And when I say culture, I mean the entire Western world. But the reality is, in my opinion, if you cannot empathize, you lack critical thinking skills, or you're unable to apply your critical thinking skills to a central part of the human experience. And again, maybe this is where my definition rubs against other people's, but I genuinely feel like empathy does not have to be this instantaneous feeling situation. To me, it's just like, all right, I've had this array of experiences. I know what certain things feel like, right? And someone is telling me about their experience. How do I understand what a metaphor is? Like, am I able to take out variables and plug in new variables and still make the equation make sense? And after doing that calculus, it's like, oh, they're experiencing X. I know what X feels like. It's in a different equation, but I know what the variable X feels like. So it's like, okay, you understand. Did you like X? No, they probably don't like X, and it's just that simple. It's through thinking about that X variable, which you have experienced in a different equation, that the empathy comes into play, because you remember that experience. Like, oh, I know what that feels like. To me, that is still empathy. That still counts. Like, sympathy would be like, I have no idea. I've never seen this letter in my life. I have no idea what it feels like. That sucks though. I hope you feel better. I don't really know what flavor of neurodivergence I'm working with, but I do feel like I am kind of on, I don't know. Anyway, the point is, I always felt like something was wrong with me because the way that I arrive at and engage with emotions didn't necessarily line up with like what I thought everyone else was experiencing. And I think this conversation about empathy speaks to the fact that maybe that's a problem or a challenge that's facing more people than we care to recognize. And the ways that we talk about empathy are causing people or preventing people from being able to empathize with empathy itself. Dismiss walking down the paths that would allow them to experience it even more intensely.
So, women are not wrong to say a lot of men out there don't see women as humans. Women are not wrong to say some men don't have humanity in them. Because if you do, you would understand what it is to make your fellow human uncomfortable. You will understand what it is to make someone else feel pain. But a lot of men don't. They feel like whatever pain women are passing through, they don't get it. They don't understand it. It's none of their business. They don't even care. How can an adult say they don't understand what it is for you to make your fellow human being uncomfortable? You're pushing yourself on someone. The lady is saying, I'm not interested. You're crashing out. And you're not understanding the effect of your action on her. You're not understanding the consequences of your action on her. Are you for real? Please share your thoughts with me in the comment section. Let me know what you think about this video in the comment section. And if you'd love to watch more videos like this, click this video to watch men blame women for their inability to find someone to date. And I will see you on the next one. Thanks for watching.